Chapter 26. The Fiery Bird. I woke up around 11 o'clock. Most likely I'd slept so long due to the 2 days of non-stop mental exertion. As soon as I woke up, I once again wanted to see my son and talk with him about the bathhouse. To tell him this wasn't simply a bathhouse, it was a multifunctional structure. It could serve as an outdoor fireplace where it would be great to sit with your friends or family. You could also dry clothing, mushrooms, and many other things in it. You could bake bread and prepare tasty dishes in it. And it goes without saying that you could treat what ails you in it by warming your body with this extraordinary heat. I reflected this way as I walked to the spot where the homestead mock-up was on the lakeshore. When I came out of the bushes, this is the picture that presented itself to me. Alongside the mock-up of the homestead lay an exhausted she-wolf, her legs smeared with clay. About 2 meters from the she-wolf, a she-bear was shifting from foot to foot in a small pit. She was working the clay. Volodya, kneeling, was using the palms of his hand to smooth out the bathhouse he had constructed of clay on the bank of the pond. But no, you'd be hard-pressed to call what I saw there a bathhouse. Even my fear at the presence of the she-bear and the she-wolf took a back seat, and I went up closer. The central part of what Volodya had constructed resembled the head and torso of some unusual kind of bird. At the base was a small opening, the entrance to the interior room. Extending out from the central part of the structure that resembled an unusual bird were its 2 wings. They were embracing the space. Beneath one of the wings sat a man and a woman who resembled Anastasia and me. A little girl was playing in the middle. It was a cloudy day. The sun would by turns shine brightly and then hide behind the clouds. The shadow's play created the impression of a live bird that might lift off in flight as soon as the people went inside it. I could hear Anastasia's voice. She had just come out onto the lakeshore, holding little Nastenka by the hand. This is simply a hallucination of some kind. Since morning, I've been thinking of nothing but your bathhouse. There's something extraordinary in it. I need to figure it out. Anastasia stopped speaking without finishing her sentence. She caught sight of what our son had constructed. Together with Nastenka, she went up closer, took a seat by the mock-up, put her arms around her little daughter for a short while, silently looked at the extraordinarily beautiful sculpture. And as she began speaking, as if thinking out loud, earth, fire, water, air, light rays, man, and all of it in one bird. And such an extraordinary one, a bird resembling an eagle, teaching its sons to fly. This structure is multifunctional, I remarked to Anastasia, pleased by her delight. You can not only warm up your friends in it, but bake bread, too, and prepare good and dry mushrooms, and other things, too. Yes, you can, but you shouldn't do that with friends, only with close relatives, but more often, you're on your own. Why? Vladimir, this apparatus might possibly function more effectively than a dolmen. You can meditate inside of it. During our conversation, Nastenka went up to the mock-up and for some reason was diligently poking at it with her finger. Anastasia, is our daughter Nastenka trying to destroy the mock-up? I think she wants to show that we need to make some small round openings in the cupola. Make little windows that look out onto the 4 sides of the world. Then in the day it will be light inside, and at night the stars will be visible. And I planned to make a round window in the middle too, Volodya added. Nastenka, as if she'd understood that everyone agreed with her, stopped boring holes into the clay with her fingers and slowly, as if reflecting on some thoughts of her own, headed off in the direction of the forest. "Anasta," I said in her direction, without even understanding why myself. Nastenka turned and looked at me intently. The breeze rearranged a lock of her hair and uncovered the birthmark on her forehead. It looked like a little star. The little girl smiled and continued her journey, whose goal was known to her alone. Anastasia continued silently examining what Volodya had constructed. She was trying to comprehend something. Never before had I seen her so concentrated. Finally, Anastasia began speaking as if reasoning out loud. 5 illuminated circles, and they will move in accord with the movement of the sun and the moon. They will move across the walls and the floor of the interior oval or round chamber. This is very important. They will illuminate the person. Tell me, Anastasia, what about the person who's inside this structure? Will he be able to restore his health, just the way he'd be able to in any bathhouse? It will function more effectively than any bathhouse, or than all of them put together. The heated clay gives off rays that are beneficial for a person. Blood will move more quickly through the veins. The internal organs will warm and be cleansed. But specifically, what illnesses can be treated with a session in this structure? A person will receive a healthy effect on his entire organism. Thus, it follows that it will be easier for the organism to fight off any illness, but it is possible to focus the energies and direct them to a specific organ. Well, take the kidneys, for example. How can you treat them? How can you direct the energies? You need to pour clean sand into a wooden tub. Roll the tub into the center of the oval chamber, and when the sand has heated up, bury yourself in it. Only your head should remain outside. Before this, you should eat a good amount of watermelon. The sand is very good at absorbing sweat that comes out of the pores. Well, sweat comes out of every person's body, even in a regular bathhouse. Why do you need to lie in the sand? Vladimir, look, in a regular bathhouse, where does the sweat, which comes from, for example, out of the upper pores of the back or the chest or the shoulders, flow away to? What do you mean where? It runs down. Precisely, it runs down along the other pores, thereby hindering them from perspiring. The dry, warmed sand is very good at absorbing moisture, and then the sweat will flow out directly into the sand rather than down along the person's entire body. It is also good, when you are in the sand bath, to drink a medicinal herbal infusion. Okay, what about the liver? How can you treat that? Does this mean that your liver is bothering you too, Vladimir? Yes, it bothers everybody. Effective treatment of the liver in this structure can be carried out at 3 o'clock in the morning. Why precisely at 3? At that time, all the other organs help the liver cleanse itself of all the accumulated impurities within it. As well, if you place your palm on the spot where the liver is located and think of it with gratitude, and your thoughts say to it, "Thank you," then it will stir and it will begin to restore itself. How can that be? Restore itself? What, is it alive or something? Of course it's alive, just as are all the organs of your body. But why can you meditate well in this particular structure? You said it might be possibly more powerful than in a dolmen. People who entered into a dolmen would go off into internal meditation. They were trying to transmit information to their descendants. The dolmen aided them in this. This unique apparatus is even more effective than the dolmen. It can help transmit information, but also, under certain conditions, receive information from the universe and transmit it to the person inside, while hiding away deep within itself any negative information. Anastasia suddenly fell silent and looked at our son and then asked him, "Are you wanting to add something else to the homestead design, Volodya?" "Yes, Mama, but first I want to be alone for a bit and think." "All right, we won't hinder you." She took Nastenka by the hand, intending to leave, but Volodya said, "Let Nastenka stay." And Nastenka, hearing her brother's request, quickly slipped out of Anastasia's arms and headed for the mock-up. Anastasia and I left.